Let's go for a jet seed. Let's say it's the bow.
Okay, well, let's get ready to go. The uncle walks away. The coffee's starting to sink on in. Morning randomizer gets us a piece of heart in the first chest.
You can't always get what you want.
If you try sometimes.
You just might find. You get what you need.
Something may be good in chest number 2. So here's the story between both of these guys. Like I had mentioned before, both of these guys are 4-0. Both of these guys are seated right next to each other, and it's what, the 17th seed versus the 16th seed or 18th seed, you said? 16th seed.
Yeah, Ninjembro is the 17th seed, Newbie404 the 16th seed. Can't get any closer than that.
So that means the winner of this race has to take on the winner of the has to take on the winner of the Evil Ash JC group.
Ooh, that's tough. The number 1 seed, Evil Ash, and JC, who is just absolutely awesome. Ooh, God, it just keeps getting tougher. You win, and it's almost like you're punished for winning because of your competition.
And
something is up with Newbie.
Well, he said he just froze. I'm thinking he must have had a one of those glitches come through. By the way, Ninjembro did pick up a bomb. So Newbie's going to be playing in a behind position now because he's going to have to start things all over again.
Yep. You gotta have rules, and one of those rules I think is no restarts.
So there we go.
You hate to see that kind of thing happen.
Absolutely. So Ninjembro currently given a brief advantage here. Newbie, I think, is going to try to figure out what's going on. Well, I guess we could just decipher what's going on based on what we can see in Ninjembro's end with the boomerang being found.
The lag meringue.
Oh, come on. It's got a purpose.
It does, yeah. But the only time that it's really useful is in Palace of Darkness, hitting the switch across the bridge. It's a whole lot easier to hit that switch with the red boomerang than it is with an arrow or something else. Sword beams, of course, would be the easiest, though.
But can't you kill enemies with it?
I don't know if you can you?
There's your single arrow, by the way.
Single arrow, hype!
What is she doing with that single arrow today?
Yeah, I got nothing.
It's too early for us to crack our own jokes at this point.
Both of us were up late last night. You calling a race, me running a race. That's why the caffeine will be flowing this morning.
I'm thinking Newbie had issues with the controller, which is why he started just walking straight into that wall and never stopped doing it. So he's now playing with a 3-minute handicap.
Yeah, it's weird. It seems to be an epidemic. And 2 races I ran yesterday, somebody had a controller just go to crap on them, and maybe it's the week of dead controllers.
Well, I'm guessing whoever makes controllers is going to be getting some financial boost soon, so maybe that's a nice stock option to pick up.
Oh no.
Oh no, Newbie.
I think it's more technical issues.
His controller is freezing. That's what he's saying in chat right now. He's having a bunch of controller issues.
Yeah, look at that. I don't think that's... I don't think he's doing that on purpose. And the thing is, his emulator isn't even reading that up or down is being input. So there's a...
Yeah, his controller configuration showing that the up is being pushed all the time. Oh, there it is.
Okay, I see it. Gonna have to get one of our admins to make a call here, but the point is that if you had an exception for technical issues, you'd have a possibility for somebody to abuse that, right? But that is not something we ever want to see. We want to see competition here, and although we all love Ninjembro and he's a great dude, we'd probably prefer to watch him compete against someone rather than just watch him play solo.
Well, I really don't know what to say at this point. Newbie, I am wondering if his issues are continuing here. Like, this is frustrating. This happening in the race is frustrating.
Yeah.
Like, I'm wondering what exactly is going on with his controller at this point.
Yeah, me too. I mean, chat, I know this is a controversial subject. I'm just speculating. I'm not an admin. And Adirondack Rick and I have no power to restart anything. So it's all up to the admins of the tournament. It's not our decision to make.
Well, here's the thing: is even I mean, there's a story about maybe doing this for fair competition, but the problem is the big problem is that you are ultimately responsible for your equipment working or not working.
Absolutely.
As Newbie just stands out in the cold, hard rain.
I did not see what was on Aghanim's cave, or I'll call it Aghanim's cave, but at Lumberjack Cave Tree. So I don't know if that'll be required. Every time I see Newbie stop, my heart skips a beat for a second. Titan's Mitts in the Lost Woods. Wow. Oh, man.
So Ninjembro here continuing to go through the Lost Woods, holes on the tree, doesn't get anything to work here.
That's the first time I've seen a pull on a tree yield absolutely nothing.
Well, it's because he didn't kill anything between pulls.
Ah. You learn something new every day.
I mean, I don't know what else we could really say at this point, because it's unfortunate the Newbie is going through these issues. I mean, this is an unusual start to the race, as apparently we found the vault of the... Oh, there we go. There's your boots.
Das Boot. Gotta hope that Newbie may have swapped out controllers, but we gotta hope that his issues are fixed. But you gotta ask yourself now, though. Imagine if he were to come from behind and win this.
Oh, 3 crystal dungeons in the Light World Desert, turning out to be one of the big ones, being number 6. And there's the blue mail. And there's a piece of heart, which completes a heart container. It does look like Newbie's finally getting the momentum to move forward with this match here. And, this is frustrating. This is stuff that he doesn't want to have to deal with.
Yep. A butter sword.
Oh, God. So Newbie's going to be kicking himself when he finally gets to these good items.
Yeah. This is looking really good right now. Some really powerful items really early in the game.
So, let's just go ahead and just talk about this really fast as Ninjembro continues to clean up here Kakariko Village, which just seemed to be a pretty nice haven of good stuff so far.
Indeed.
But what's new? What Newbie went through is unfortunate. We have seen races before where technical issues have definitely caused a runner to be behind. It's up to the other runner if they want to, make profit out of it or anything, because we've seen this in the past. What really comes to mind is the whole Sandy story.
What? Yeah, fill me in on that one. As the newbie here.
Well, in that race, was behind. Andy was on crystal number 6. His console crashed, or he had to start all over again. Well, not start all over again, but he had to start from his last save point, which meant he lost about 40 minutes worth of stuff.
Oh.
He had to go back to only having 1 crystal. Found out about this because of discussions that were going on in IRC, and once after killing off Ganon, decided to wait in Ganon's room until Andy finished before he finished up the race himself, which
I see.
Ultimately yielded that exciting 3-way race because, well, Group A decided to finish with a 3-way tie. But pretty much the end of the story is that waited because he didn't want to take a free win because of what happened to Andy.
Sure. And that's, again, that we don't know if Ninjembro has any chat visible. A lot of runners like to hide chats because they don't want any distractions while they're racing. And also, I mean, and I do not ascribe this. I do not have any idea what's going through Ninjembro's mind, but I've got to say, at some point, you're like, rules are the rules. I'm playing fair and square, and maybe I will just go ahead and take this because this is a tournament. This is a competition. Again, I have no idea what Ninjembro's situation is, but those are always your choice.
But Ninjembro does know what's going on here and was inquiring about what was happening, had asked.
Okay.
Newbie did say, and give me a second. His quote was after Ninjembro asked in the IRC, and this was something that was being said as Ninjembro was getting his way over to the sanctuary, still having problems, ? And Newbie's reply was, quote, "Don't worry about me, LOL."
Okay. So if the runners have agreed to continue, then that's their decision, right? I don't think we need to be second guessing their decision.
So pretty much it's their decision. I mean, let's say this actually honestly. This still is possible for Ninjembro to come back in this race. Because things could happen. He's going to be on tilt because of what happened with this start of this first race. I mean, there's a reason why he's coming to Sanctuary all of 7 minutes after the fact.
Sure. That's what I was saying earlier. Can you imagine if Newbie gets a 7-minute deficit because of technical issues, then all of a sudden comes back and wins it? We gotta talk about some hype.
I will point this out. This is a good case of why it's this tournament being a best of 3 is actually a good thing.
Without a doubt. Ether on the Lake Hylia cave, we don't know yet, but that could be crucial.
Yeah, it's one of those ones you put in your mind. And that, by the way, is the Titansmith.
Yep. See, everybody's second guessing the commentators. Why?
That did turn out to be the Titansmith, and Jimbo's got to get in there. He gets it fast. Okay, there we go. We're all good.
Yeah, I see the chat mentioning this. I missed what item was on Lumberjack Cave, and Newbie has skipped it. So Ninjembro is going to have some information that at least I don't have. Rick, did you happen to see that?
I didn't see it either.
Uh-oh.
All I know is that Newbie skipped over it. And we find the shovel at the Dash Cave. How do you like having fetch quests?
You know, it depends on where I find it. Like, Ninjembro here found the shovel. He's relatively close to Kakariko Village, but it's way out of the way. Clearly he's intending to go to Death Mountain. If I find it,
he accidentally talked to the guy. Tried to dash out of the room. Whoops.
But you know, sometimes you'll find the mushroom when you're doing the North Dark World clear, and you're like, okay, great, it's right in my route. I'll just mirror over to the witch and drop it off. But other times, you know, when you find the shovel, say on Death Mountain, you're like, why? Just why? So in the heat of this, I think we may have both missed Ninjembro picking up the mirror. Which means he'll be able to clear out Tower of Hera here.
Newbie skipping over a whole bunch of things, and I just saw a book.
Yeah, literacy up on Spectacle Rock Cave.
Literacy hype.
That's right.
Trying to remember what was in those bombable walls too. I don't know if there was anything important in there.
I think my mind is a little bit blown just based on. I think the powder was back there.
No, he got the powder. That was in Hyrule Castle.
Oh, okay.
And I'm wondering if that was a tracking misclick on the mirror there, because Ninjembro skipped out of going to Hera, which we'll get confirmation when he gets to his start screen.
Oh, he skipped the stuff behind the bombable wall. He may not. He just went and bought bombs. I don't think he had any.
Newbie did, yes.
Okay.
And Ninjembro got a bottle. Sick Kid yields the ice rod. Now watch Turtle Rock not be required.
Of course it won't be required. If the ice rod was easy to find, Turtle Rock's not going to be required.
And yes, Newbie did get the butter.
It's like butter.
And let's see what the digging game yields. Oh, the hook shot! Time to go back up to Death Mountain.
Yep, you see, sometimes the fetch quests are pretty nice. Yeah, anytime you get the hook shot and the Titan's mitts, it's time to hit Death Mountain. Just the Light World alone, you've got, what is it, 8 or 9 chests?
And if you get 8 chests out of the Light World stuff, and then if you find the Moon Pearl somewhere in there, and with the hook shot in mind, you've got yourself another 6 possibilities, plus the island if you get the mirror. So a lot of possibilities.
When you're playing Randomizer and it's all about percentages, the places with the highest concentration of items, it's your best bet.
By the way, confirmation, Ninjembro does not have the mirror.
Now he does.
But now he does. Oh, so that was the power glove that was... That was the power glove that was in the Lost Woods. It was just the haze making it look like.
Well, remember this is flute for Ninjembro, flippers for Ninjembro.
That's it. I'm out of here.
Plus 5.
I'm off to get some breakfast.
But this is the thing I was saying though is if it were regardless of if it were Power Glove or Titan's Mitts, in the Lost Woods. Remember, we're not on progressive items. So if he had the Titan's mitts and then picked up the power glove, it would still show the icon for the power glove because it wouldn't downgrade. Sort of like how if they find another sword upgrade, it's going to show butter sword regardless.
Ninjembro heading it over to maybe think about going into Hera, but oh wait, he can't. By the way, Newbie did pick up the hook shot. So is Ninjembro going to head on over to the Tower of Hera first? It does look like that answer is yes.
Certainly, if you're already here and you know you're going to have to do it anyway, and you got all the items to do it, makes sense.
Those commentators do need some coffee. I know Ninjembro also wanted some coffee, didn't have enough time to go to the 7-Eleven. So if you want to send us some coffee, we'd be gladly appreciated.
Yeah, particularly for Ninjembro. But and for everyone who's getting your day off to a start, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers who might be out there watching today. Shout outs to my two favorite mothers in the world, my wife, Sleepy Frau, and of course my own mother, who doesn't have an internet handle because she's 73. So, but shout outs to her, and shout outs to all the mothers out there today.
Okay, so at the 21-minute mark, you're finding all these things, and you're Newbie404. What's going through your mind at that point?
Well, what's going through my mind is, damn my controllers. That's what's going through my mind right now.
And just a reminder that Newbie is playing with a 7-minute handicap because he was going through some controller issues early on, as he's going to do the fake flippers to find the Ether Medallion on the island, and the hobo had some love.
Yeah. Newbie having a little bit of issue with his fake flippers right now.
Yeah, he needs to be set over just a little hair to the left or right, and he's having some issues.
And he just says, forget about it.
He says some word that's kind of outlawed from being said here, and he'll try again in a little bit. Mushroom pickup here on Ninjembro's end. That so far has been only one item. Keep in mind, that could come into play.
At any time, one particular choice could be determinative here. We still have yet to see Cane of Samaria, which is almost always required. We haven't seen the hammer. We've only seen one. We've only seen one medallion, so there's still a lot of possibilities for some trolling of this seed.
And Ninjembro picks up the 10 arrows, which means that a trip to the basement is not needed, which is a good thing considering the fact that he does not have a fire source. And he does pick up the first crystal at this game, 23 minutes in.
And the chat pointing out my mea culpa for forgetting to shout out to my mother-in-law. That's true. I'm a bad son-in-law. I'll just leave it at that. As a Newbie404 swims over to Hobo, and he is going to be probably a little disappointed here.
So, Phantom Ryu, mother-in-law, if you're watching this broadcast, well, first of all, why are you watching this broadcast? And secondly, Moon Pearl.
Moon Pearl.
Tomb. And thirdly, remember this on his birthday.
I'll probably be deployed on my birthday. That's going to be fun. Alright, so Ninjembro finding the Moon Pearl.
He's heading to the Dark World, and I can't blame him. There's nothing else for him to do here in this light world. So it's time to make a... Oh, he's going to do the duck first. Ladies, raise, rise. It's time for the Swag Duck Anthem.
It is the Swaggy Duck, and I don't know the words because I'm not in the name of DT.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Newbie404 finding out what was in the Lumberjack Cave before heading up to Death Mountain. Oh, we get a map here for the Dark World. So Ice Rod is required this seed. Yep. Skull Woods being a pendant. Green Pendant Misery Mire, which has come into play sometimes.
Yes.
And Swamp Palace being a red pendant.
I distinctly remember you and I calling a match, Rick, where Misery Mire, Green Pendant was Ice Rod. Ooh.
Well, won't be that case this time around, but we'll do our usual look and see what could be in the pedestal in just a moment. But Ninjembro cleaning up here in the village of Outcast and taking care of some things. Time to head inside everyone's favorite place, Thieves Town.
Now, Ninjembro taking a gamble here, as I think a lot of runners would, the fact that there will be one item that at this point he cannot acquire, that because the big chest in Thieves Town is locked behind a row of hammer pegs or whack-a-moles, as the case may be.
Have you ever won whack-a-mole?
That's possible.
In theory.
In theory, Space Invaders is winnable, Rick.
I didn't have time to beat Space Invaders. I just threw my controller in disgust once after I got bopped in like the third or fourth stage.
Actually, I think technically it's not. I think it goes into an infinite loop.
Pretty much.
Ninjembro flying through Thieves Town here.
Yep, he's going to be heading on over to the puzzle aspect of this dungeon real soon. He'll be about to pick up a whole bunch of items and will feel even sicker than he already does right now.
All because of a controller malfunction. But, we had that long discussion, and, kudos to Newbie for saying, hey, let's just move on. Let's not, do anything special. Let's just go. So kudos to him for just saying, we started the match, and we're just going to finish it as is. So...
Still the treasure trove of item pickups here for Newbie404, and he's going to try to set himself up for the bomb jump. It looks like he's got that perfectly, and there he goes.
And Ninjembro finding the lantern in Thieves Town, which, most of our runners are capable of doing dark rooms, but why do it if you don't have to, right?
I would have to agree, especially considering the fact that 2 of your 3 dungeons are dungeons that do have dark rooms. So, as far as the items that are concerned, let's talk about this right now. We have Skull Woods, Misery Mire, and Swamp Palace as your pendant dungeons.
Oof.
You know what?
What's that, Rick?
The only things that could come into play right now that could be on the pedestal would either be the Bombos, the Quake, if either of those are required, or the bow.
Yeah, that's it.
Thieves Town has 4 items, and I don't know if we have found 3 of the items yet.
Neither do I.
Ninjembro could be a bro and show us his menu to help us out a little bit, but he's not going to.
No, why would he?
And oh, the map drop. So guess what?
Yep. There's an item.
There's an item in that chest.
And that could be one of those crucial things that gives Newbie404 a chance to make it up. If we have seen runners say, forget about the big chest in the basement of the Tower of Hera.
Bombs being picked up here in Ninjembro out of the sea house, and Newbie activating the swag duck.
Bombable hut in Village of Outcast has a $5 bill.
Is it a $5 foot long?
Yes, inflation. I don't think Subway's able to do those anymore.
Sadly. So Newbie is in the dark world. Oh, I think I know what. Well, I don't know what Newbie's up to. I really don't know what Newbie is up to.
I don't either, because he cannot complete Desert Palace. Now he can grab the items around Mire, but he can't complete Desert Palace without a fire source.
There's green goo in a bottle. And there's a red rupee, and I didn't even see what Ninjembro got out of the digging game, but I'm guessing it really wasn't important.
Probably not. So Newbie just got a bottle, which means he will be able to go back to Kakariko and get his ice rod now. He's diving into Desert Palace. Now, although Desert Palace only has 2 items, I think it has been overrepresented in its ability to have important items throughout this tournament. Would you agree, Rick?
It's possible, but we already just found one of them with that piece of heart that was on the torch. Got a red rupee pickup here for Ninjembro, and don't forget Ninjembro can do the bat cave.
It looks like that's exactly what he's about to do right here.
He's gonna lose his portal, so he can't take care of the purple chest at this point. But we'll see what we get. Newbie picking up the big key and still has a chance of getting the second item out of here.
Just 2 pieces of heart.
Wow!
Wow!
And that means he cannot finish this dungeon. And he's going to check the checkerboard cave. And the checkerboard cave will yield a full heart container, which Newbie says no.
Says I don't need no stinking heart containers. I got the blue mail. That's all the protection I need.
And I will point this out right now. You're not going to see these guys take a lot of trips because Skull Woods. Oh, there's the silvers in Nagina's chest. But because both of these guys do not have the complete Skull Woods, you're likely not going to see a pedestal check until we get really, really confused on where the items are.
Yeah. You might see one after Skull Woods if one of these guys finds the fire rod soon, but
the chances of them going into Skull Woods is unlikely at this point.
Pendant.
Because of the fact that it's a pendant dungeon. Newbie is heading back up to Death Mountain. We had not seen Ninjembro do it because he opted not to come back up this way after getting the Moon Pearl.
Yeah, Newbie's going to be able to check Hookshot Cave. This might, depending on what's there, it might be a time catch-up for him.
Right now, a big-time catch-up for him is if he finds the hammer, and he does get the information that he needs. By the way, crystal number 5 is Turtle Rock. Do you remember what I said number 6 was? That was Desert, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, it was Desert. There is a off chance that the bow could be at the Fat Fairy.
That is possible. Swamp, Skullwoods, and Misery Mire is our pendant dungeons. Bow is not required in any one of them, even though it might as well be required for Vitreous, but might have to do Vitreous the hard way.
Rupees picked up here for both Newbie and Ninjembro. But yeah, the bow could possibly be both. It could be at Sarashla, it could be at the Fat Fairy, or it could also be at the pedestal at this point.
The plot thickens. We got quite a few items here in Hookshot Cave. Let's see what Hookshot Cave has for Newbie as Ninjembro is heading to Dark World Hype Cave.
Well, let's see which one is more hype right now. I haven't seen anything hype about the Hookshot Cave.
Not in the slightest bit.
Blue goo in a bottle. That's 3 bottles now.
There's the hammer.
Hammer found.
Bow!
Bow found.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is why we call it Hype Cave.
Oh, the ether is the one required for Turtle Rock. So it unfortunately is not going to be a pedestal seed, guys.
Nope.
It is not going to be a pedestal seed at all. It's still possible Sarashla might be needed, because Misery Mire being a the green pendant, Fire Rod could still be there.
That's true. But we know that Canis Samaria will not be on the pedestal.
Nope. So right now, Newbie stepping into his first crystal dungeon here at the Tower of Hera. But Newbie is in decent shape and is about to pick up something nice and silvery.
Yep.
And he's going to be feeling really good about himself, even despite what happened to Newbie. And you got to feel for what Newbie had going on with him, because it's tough having these issues early on and then having to play, because you're going to be playing on tilt.
Yeah.
For most of the seed, especially if things don't go your way fast. And the way things have gone so far this seed, you found some good items, but it's paths that you know your opponent is going to make.
Right, yeah, nothing has been out of the way, like at Catfish, or so far in, blue or red pendant dungeon, where there's a chance that your opponent might not have gone there yet. Everything's been on what you would think would be a normal path, given the crystal distribution.
And so Ninjembro picking up the same things that Newbie had picked up a little bit ago. The green goo in a bottle, and also a red rupee, so he could probably buy some more. We do have mushroom picked up here for both of these runners, and neither of them have turned that in yet.
That could... Generally, I would say that could be determinative, but generally, I've yet to see anybody forget to turn in the mushroom. So, of course, now that I've said that, probably be the commentator's curse going on here. And Troll Dorm living up to his name here against Newbie, knocks him down once, but got the butter sword. Yeah, second time's a charm.
Ninjembro finding the piece of heart on the torch, and he's going to find the other one in a couple of rooms, and that will mean, okay, that's it. I can just go right straight to the second half, and this is where him going to Thieves Town and getting the lantern is going to help him out, because now he can complete this dungeon to make 3 crystals.
Newbie heading out, and he will... Looks like...
He's going to text Rashala's hut.
Yep.
which we know is not going to be the right play here, in the sense that it doesn't yield him the bow that he can complete Eastern Palace with. We know the bow turned out to be in the Dark World Hype Cave, which turned out to be hype again this time around.
That's right. That's why it has that name. It could be interesting if we get Fire Rod. If we get a Fire Rod here.
Fire Rod or Cane of Samaria, those are the only two things that are elusive. There's the shield and a little bit of love and a little more love. Why are you stealing that man's organs?
He's just a loving guy. Ooh, that's a little creepy. Never mind. Yeah, old guy, full. Never mind.
Please don't say anything that's going to be turning into a meme. Nice rod pickup here for Newbie404.
Nothing that'll turn into a meme like Dark Magician 1184's bombing Reign of Terror through Hyrule.
Well, I'm talking more about things like Old Man Love and Ganon's Hole and other various things that have turned into clips in this tournament.
Ninjembro heading on into Landmalas with silver arrows. 1, 2, 3.
I'd
almost call that a 0 cycle.
3 set strikes, you're out at the old ball game for Ninjembro, picking up his third pendant. Or third crystal, rather.
Where is Ninjembro gonna head next?
He's gonna check the checkerboard cave because he did not do that before going into the desert. His idea here is that desert is not, Misery Mire is not required. He doesn't have what he needs to finish Misery Mire, even if he did want to go in there. So take care of the desert, take care of the checkerboard, and get yourself on out of here.
Newbie gonna head on into Thieves Town. Good, always a good choice. Although he doesn't, he doesn't have the hammer, so both of our runners are going to go through Thieves Town and not be able to get the last item.
And what if that turns out to be the fire rod?
Stranger things have happened.
That is correct. Now, Ninjembro's going to do what is probably a great routing choice here. He's going to do the Palace of Darkness, and he's also going to probably double it and do the Eastern Palace afterwards.
Yep, as soon as you complete the dungeon, puts you at the entrance, hit that button for the magic mirror, go right back into Eastern, and then Ninjembro will be able to pick up Sahasrarla's items right after that.
Another place we haven't seen our runners go to yet, and they're probably waiting until they do the catfish combo, is Zora.
Yep. Both of our runners have the flippers, so they'll be able to get both items in Zora. But like you mentioned just a second ago, we see a lot of people save it for a route through Catfish, and a lot of people will do a route around Northern Hyrule to get the cave above the graveyard, King's Tomb. Our runners also still need to turn in their mushroom, so that will be a route that either of these can take once they complete their respective dungeons.
Oh god. Let's see what they've actually clipped.
Oh god, what did we do? do I want to know?
The Raikou JC race where you said Zelda didn't have much in her chest this time around.
That's right. Yep.
It's amazing that these guys can come up with these, find these clips at amazing times during the run.
That's right. Hashtag things in Zelda's chest. All right.
Lantern pickup here for Newbie. Now he can finish off the desert once he gets back that direction.
Oh, shout out to somebody in the chat is sadistic. Do a Wind Waker rando where the location of the islands are shuffled. Oh,
no.
That's just cruel. That's just cruel.
No. Just no.
No, but if you do that, it would have to be on the Wii U version with the double speed sail.
I'm a fan of randomizers. I've played this one. I played Zelda 1. I might at some point in time pick up Zelda 2 and maybe Final Fantasy. I've played Super Mario Bros. 3 randomizer. Maybe Mega Man 3 once Fred gets that released. Wind Waker randomizer does not sound like fun.
No, not in the slightest bit. Why don't you just go for the whole enchilada, Breath of the Wild randomizer?
Nah. No, thank you.
Randomize all 900 Korok seed locations? Yeah, no.
No, thank you. I want to play the game the right way first.
Alright, so Newbie going ahead and taking out the pun master himself, blind.
Who hasn't seen the eye detector in years today, and
Right.
Newbie's going to be disappointed to find out that there's a 4th item to be found in this dungeon, but without the hammer, has no reason to come back in here now. What is Ninjembro going to find in this dungeon? Well, he's got the magic powder all ready to go, so he's going to be getting himself a free fairy off the anti-fairy.
Bomb upgrade. That's why I think that magic powder is one of the best items in the game, because it can really make up for a seed that has, low heart distribution, or that you're doing green mail throughout the entire run.
There's actually 2 different kinds of Super Metroid randomizers out there. One that is the items and one that's the doors.
Ooh. Door randomizer in Super Metroid. Ouch.
Hey, look, you're in Lower No Fair. Guess what? This door takes you on over to Viridia.
And you don't have the gravity suit. Ah! Ninjembro not really finding anything interesting doing this full clear of Pod. Pod's not only one of the slower dungeons, but it does have 5 unique items, so he needs to full clear it, but it's not really working out in his favor right now. A Newbie getting the lunchbox. Remember, Ninjembro did not take the lunchbox to Gary, so
he did. It was money.
Oh, he did. Oh, he did. Okay.
But one thing that is to be pointing out here is that when you go through Palace of Darkness, even if you're in go mode, you still have to take this long path through, because under most circumstances, you end up having to search for the big key as it is.
Yeah.
And the orbs just don't want to help him out a little bit, but he's able to make it across after a little bit of work.
Now, Newbie left the lunchbox sitting on the floor of the Batcave.
That's an interesting place to leave a lunchbox.
Yeah.
So what are you trying to do? Leave the bat your crumbs? And making quick work of the mimics with Ninjembro having the silver arrows. That's going to make this Helmasaur fight. That and the butter sword's just going to make this a quite easy fight coming up for Ninjembro.
Yeah, he may not even switch over to the silver arrows in the Helmasaur King fight, because it's just 2 swipes with the butter sword. So the menu time probably makes it equivalent.
But don't you want to have a 6-minute menu? 20 rupee pickup there for Newbie, and I'm certain at this point he's probably having a few words about this seed.
Don't doubt it.
But this seed still is not free for these guys. We have yet to find out what the Canis Maria is. We've yet to see where the Fire Rod is. We know where the Ether to get into Turtle Rock is. It's on Lake Hylia Island. Either player has gone to claim it, but they don't really need to go claim it until it's about time for them to head into Turtle Rock. They probably can do that as they're getting ready to go into Ice Palace anyways.
And as you pointed out a minute ago, neither of our runners has headed up to Catfish or Zora, nor have they turned in their mushrooms. So
I'm thinking they're waiting to do that all in one big swoop.
I agree. The question is,
there's the Cane of Samaria out the Helmsar King.
That's gotta be Kane. It's Newbie gonna hit the Dark World Hype Cave, and I'm sure he'll say something like, "Why didn't I go here earlier?"
Well, he's not feeling that right now. He's gonna be feeling that in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ninjembro doing just like you said, out of Palace of Darkness, right into Eastern Palace. Nice. Great shout outs to the chat. Geez, Catfish, Mushroom, and Zora on the menu. What the heck kind of restaurant is this? Hats off to you.
Hey, menu I don't want to take my mother to for Mother's Day. By the way, give your mother a call at some point in time today. Wish them a happy Mother's Day, please. And thank you.
Don't forget to call your mother-in-law.
Especially if you're somebody like Phantom Ryu, who already upsetted her by not shouting out to her at 9:05 this morning when the coffee wasn't flowing.
Speaking of shout-outs and other things like that, chat, make sure you follow these guys here on Twitch, Ninjembro and Newbie404. They're doing some amazing things with Link to the Past Randomizer. And follow Speed Gaming 2. Also, shout-outs to Feasel, who's been running the restreams of this tournament. And shout-outs to S Diesel, who's been running the tracker for us today. You know, it takes a lot of work to bring a tournament like this to you. We want to make sure that we recognize the people behind the scenes. So make sure you give everybody the respect and attention they deserve. We all love you guys. Thanks for your support.
Does Feasel ever sleep?
I don't think so. Like I'm not quite convinced that Feasel is human.
Oh, so he must be a cyborg then.
He's gotta be. He's a machine.
Just to state what we need for Go mode at this point. Ninjembro needs the Fire Rod.
Yep.
The Fire Rod really is the only thing that's keeping these guys from Go mode at this point, because Ninjembro knows where the Ether Medallion is to get into Turtle Rock. It is on the Kylie Island. They saw that when they did fake flippers to get to the Zora, rather to get to the Hobo. And Ninjembro finding the third item in Eastern, it's done as far as items are concerned, so time to head on over to the boss.
Which with silver arrows is going to be academic, to say the least.
And right now, based on the items that we have seen so far, Fire Rod could be almost anywhere except for Turtle Rock, definitely not at the end of Skull Woods. And because we haven't found Bombos yet, we can't say Ice Palace.
Yep.
But if we do find Bombos, that would open a possibility that the Fire Rod could be there.
It's true.
And don't forget, the Green Pendant Dungeon is Misery Mire. And you and I have called races before where Misery Mire turned out to be a very important place.
Yeah, that people might have clipped a particular section when we found out that Misery Mire and Sahasrahla were required.
That's correct, and that was Dodecahedron's race that got him out of the race off and into the brackets, where he now ended up knocking off his opponent 2-0 to make it to the round of 32. I like the thought of our chat here talking about the possibility of Sarashula having the bombos leading to the fire rod at Cold Stare.
That would be like that that dodecahedron race you and I called, or the triple threat race that he won. Because there was some ridiculously convoluted logic in that one.
So where is Ninjembro going to head to next?
He's heading back up to Death Mountain. Looks like
He has not checked the hookshot stuff.
Yep. And that was probably the least hype hookshot cave we've seen in a while, so he's not going to be very happy.
The one good thing that Ninjembro is going to get out of all of this is the information that Ether Medallion that is on Lake Hylia is what he needs to get into Turtle Rock.
Well, Newbie making his way through Pod, just like we said before when Ninjembro was in there. Long, slow slog through Pod for not a whole lot. Until you beat Helmasaur King.
Yeah, and unfortunately you have no way of knowing that, and just because of the way the seed was, unless you decided to actually gamble once you got the big key, well, let's just put it this way. It would have been a case where you would have known to head straight to the Helmasaur King. You'd have to be full clearing this dungeon. You'd hate every minute of it. Which also means you have to do this the long and hard way, which is pushing the statue in this room.
Yep. Still not as bad as doing a full clear of Ice Palace, though.
So Ninjembro now finding out the information that the Ether Medallion is going to be required. So at some point in the near future, we're going to see Ninjembro head on over to Lake Hylia Island to claim it. Like I said, probably the best routing choice for these guys to do it is when they are heading on over to the Ice Palace, teleport, and just swim over to the portal.
Sure.
The portal, rather.
I'm from Alabama. I understood what you were saying. Yeah, get over there to the porter. So, the other possibility that I don't think that we've really been considering enough here is what fire rod's sitting there in the big chest in Thieves Town.
What's Steve doing with that fire rod?
I don't think we want to know.
This is a family-friendly stream, okay?
I didn't bring it up, but you did.
Well, you could have answered that a little more nicer as we finally find out what the question fields. 300 rupees, cast for drugs.
Yes, speaking of family-friendly stream, here we are talking about drug deals. Man!
And by the way, Ninjembro's not bothering to check Catfish. He's just going to head right straight to Zora.
Well, you can certainly do it quicker this way, but because there's not a Dark World teleporter really anywhere near Catfish. So,
well, at this point in time, just to answer what people in the chat are saying, we can already eliminate the pedestal because the pedestal would require you to get the pendant out of Skullwood, so therefore Fire Rod cannot be in there.
And it's irrelevant unless Misery Mire has the Fire Rod and some other dungeon has the has the medallion required to get into Misery Mire. That's about the biggest troll I think that this seed could have left. But there's no pedestal. There's no way anything could be on the pedestal. Anything important could be on the pedestal at this point.
Yep. But we're still with the possibility that Tarantula could have something very important. Newbie now getting the crystal out of the Palace of Darkness, heading on over to Eastern Palace, doing the 1-2 combo, just like Ninjembro did. And now Ninjembro, with the information he has, is going to go swimming.
Is he going to do the full Ice Palace clear, the dreaded full Ice Palace?
he can't. He doesn't have a way in at this point. No bombos either.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Sipping on the coffee. More coffee.
Absolutely. Now, one other thing that we have to know here with Ninjembro is that he lost the portal because he jumped off the island, and I'm certain he wants to see what's on that pyramid ledge.
Have either of our runners checked that yet?
No, they haven't.
Oh.
Neither of our runners have checked the north end with the mirror portals. Nobody has checked Bumper Cave. Those still could be very important.
Looks like we are about to get a pyramid check from Ninjembro here.
And if I'm Ninjembro at this point, I would, if I don't see the fire rod here, opt to go check Catfish.
I agree. It would be bugging me to death right now if I if I were Ninjembro. There's the fire rod.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ninjembro at 1 hour and 48 minutes has achieved Go Mode.
Go Mode. Nope. And he follows it up by getting rejected by his Light World portal.
And at this point, Newbie also is just a pyramid ledge away from being on Go Mode. And Ninjembro now heading over to the Ice Palace, and we'll see pretty much how both of these guys are as far as time is concerned. But it does come down to execution at this point. And maybe a little bit of luck, too.
Yeah. So at this point, I mean, we'll have to see what the final times are, but without a doubt, Newbie's technical difficulties in the beginning of this match. It's looking like that may be the determinative factor here.
But here's a reminder. As Ninjembro does have to be careful, does pick up the ferry. There's one thing to keep in mind here. This is a best of 3.
Absolutely.
Newbie is not out of this. He will just have to calm himself down after this race is over with and do his best to rebound and get himself good for race number 2, which will be right after this. So if, by the way, if Newbie does check, and he didn't get either of the evil skulls here, and ends up having to take a 3 bomb cycle. If Newbie checks Pyramid Ledge right away, and he is not. I was going to say if he does, he's not that far away. Although he just decided to go back into the portal.
Yeah.
And thinking of it, like this is right here. If Newbie's coming back in this race, this is where he's making it up. He's going to the pyramid.
He is. This will put him about half a dungeon behind. Wow.
Here he goes over to the left. And at this point, it is now only about a 4-minute lead here for Ninjembro. And there it is, the fire rod pickup there for Newbie. Now, he still has to go pick up the ether medallion, but he knows where the ether medallion is. At this point, go on down to Lake Hylia Island, claim that. Where is he going? Oh, no.
Don't go to Catfish.
Oh no, did he forget that ether was on Lake Hylia Island? He saw it earlier. He may have forgotten.
Oh no. No, what? Chad said it best. No, what is he doing? Meanwhile, Ninjembro with he almost had
Ninjembro's gotta be careful.
He's only got one.
He doesn't have a fairy.
He got it.
He gets him down,
Woo.
but he also had to be careful of that falling block of ice. Wow. Wow. Newbie feeding catfish. Catfish responds with a
Tempered sword.
tempered sword, which is absolutely not important to these guys because they get the butter.
That's why he's going up here. He hasn't hit Zora yet. Remember, Ninjembro did run this way, so...
But there's nothing up here.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think he forgot that Ether is on Lake Hylia Island.
Yeah, he forgot Lake Hylia has what he needs at this point, and now Ninjembro's lead is just getting even bigger.
He had a chance. He could have been a contender.
I would follow that up with another statement, but right now Newbie doesn't. When he watches the VOD of this later, doesn't need to hear it. Because, it's unfortunate what happened in Newbie at the beginning of this race that cost him a whole bunch of time, about 7.5 minutes. But, again, in all fairness, you really are responsible to make sure that your stuff works when the race goes.
I completely agree.
Now, if Ninjembro wants to do something about it at the very end here and see where Newbie is, and if Newbie seems to be within 7 minutes, and then you concede this race to him. But Newbie has forgotten. Newbie forgot that Ether was on Lake Hylia Island because he's still checking stuff.
Yeah, because we saw him swim past Lake Hylia Island. We also saw him check Turtle Rock. So he knows, at least he should know, both of those pieces of information, which makes this this trek that he's doing now inexplicable unless he's just completely forgotten.
And I do want to remind people that Ninjembro did see in IRC that Newbie was having controller issues. And he asked if he was still having some issues, and Newbie said, "Just don't worry about me. Keep going." So once Newbie blessed that, it pretty much said, "We're still doing this race."
Yeah. And really, I mean, that's class acts on both sides, right? Each one of these competitors, Ninjembro saying, "Hey, do we need to?" Basically saying, "Do we need to, do something different because of your controller issues?" And then Newbie saying, "Nope, let's just drive on." So,
Ninjembro not getting good setup here with the torches, and he should still have this, but
yeah, that was close.
It's gonna be tight. Yes, he got it. Yeah, that was close. A lot closer than it really needed to be.
All right, not a jet Turtle Rock.
This turns out to be a case here. Newbie either did one of two things. He either forgot that it's the Ether to get into Turtle Rock, or Lake Hylia Island has the Ether. It's one of those two cases, and you got to wonder if he's just on tilt still because of how the start of this run happened.
I think that's got to be entering into it, because he would have checked. You check Lake Hylia Island really early, as a general rule, because he fake flippered to it, if I remember correctly, and he was still probably, like you said, on tilt from all of those controller issues. So you can understand how he could have forgotten.
But all this time here, Newbie's sinking into this. This is really going to give a lot more time to Ninjembro, and just once again, gotta reestablish this. This is a best of 3. Newbie is not out of this. get back in the game too, and you'll have a chance. Now, Ninjembro, without the big key, is going to have to spend a key to get here to the island where he finds the big key.
Shoutouts to Vanilla Locations, the ultimate way to troll a rando runner.
But the hookshot wasn't in the Swamp Palace, but the fire rod wasn't in Skull Woods. You really want to troll these guys, and then you can do something like that. I do want to point out a interesting seed that we had under the 20 logic last night, where the flippers turned out to be in Turtle Rock, and Ice Palace was required as a crystal dungeon.
Ouch. Yeah, and you guys started that one without me. I'll put it up on the Discord. Said anybody for race. I'm sitting here waiting for the Discord because normally people put up the race ID. Nope, y'all just started. Didn't ever put it up in the Discord. But y'all didn't know I was joining, so I won't hold it against you.
But yeah, having flippers up there on beautiful Turtle Rock is so much fun.
Ooh,
if you don't know how to fake flippers. Newbie is swimming. Where is he swimming to? Is he going into the Ice Palace? Come on, check the island. Get yourself reassured. No, he's going to take the long way through the Ice Palace.
Yeah. Yet again, you hate to see these kind of things happen. So this will, we'll see if, yeah, I can't think of what Newbie possibly could have been looking for other than the ether medallion. So I'm holding out some hope that he'll do a go mode clear, but I don't.
Based on the fact that he just killed that run room for the chest, that is a no.
Yeah.
And based on the fact that he got a key from that first chest, that further suggests no. You can say all you want. He's going to still be checking these chests.
I know.
I don't know if that bomb's going to work. Yeah, there it goes.
Meanwhile, Ninjembro is heading into the Trinex fight.
Blue mail, but 12 hearts. Ninjembro should have this easily. Butter sword, 3 hits per head.
Yeah, that's the key, is having the butter sword here.
Yep. Which these guys got early in the game because of the bottle vendor. And Newbie not turning the switch down. So no IPBJ for him.
Ninjembro almost getting the perfect Trinex. He did get hit there, but still almost as fast.
Only lost 1 heart because of it. And the Master Sword. Digressive swords.
That's right. We found them exactly out of order this game.
Phantom Ryu, we have a spiel that is set after Turtle Rock as they make their way over to Ganon's Tower. I think for game number 1, I'm going to let you start.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen in the chat, there are 22 chests in Ganon's Tower. Only one of them can contain the big key. Put your guesses in the chat right now. And if you win, you will win our love and affection for this Mother's Day.
I have something else in store for this prize.
Uh-oh.
I won't reveal it until we get to the big key.
All right. Well, as always, I'm going with number 13 because I have yet to be right going with number 13. So just playing the averages, it's got to be right once, right? Right? That's not the gambler's fallacy, right?
It's like pushing the bet max on the slot machine. It's going to work every now and then. But half the time it's going to leave you depressed. I put 12 in the chat. That's the number I think it's going to be this time around. 1 is a rupee. 2 is a rupee. So even if either runner was thinking going the right side on a gamble, that is pretty much going to say no.
Yep. The only route that leaves open is Dark Magician's... well, no. Because Dark Magician would normally go left immediately and then mirror out and go right after the stall child room.
Yeah, he would go torch, grab the key out of the pot, get these 4, and then mirror out.
Yep.
4 is no, 5 is no, just some more love. 6 is a small key, and 7 is a small key.
With the this could be a trolley Ganon's tower then if they have to go have to clear the entire left side first because they didn't get a key. Did you find the silver arrows in Planet Zebus? Nice. Sorry, shouting out the chat again.
8 is a small key, and Newbie continuing to make his way through this labyrinth of the Ice Palace because he forgot the ether was on Lake Hylia Island.
Shoutouts to the old school clearing route here. Or the OG NMG clearing route. No, just the OG developer intended route.
The developers were jerks.
They really were. I do remember as a kid, I would always go on to Misery Mire before Ice Palace just so I could have the Cane of Samaria.
Same here because I absolutely hated it. I didn't even know the ice bomb. I didn't know even the Ice Palace bomb jump at that point in time. 10 no, 11 no, 12 no, 13 no. You have a map in there. Sorry.
Man.
Ooh, Newbie has to be careful there with his ice usage. He does fill up because I think he's going to switch on over to Cape. Oh no, he's going to use Fire Rod here. Oh, he needed one more shot.
Yep.
That's why he had to do the green goo. Has to be careful there. Gets Cold Stare down. That's a nasty spot because, unfortunately, if Cold Stare bops you, you're gone at that point with 3 hearts, and Ninjembro has to do this room all over again.
Yeah, those beetles. First off, I never knew they were beetles until many moons ago because they don't look like beetles. They're squid. And second, they control you pretty hard.
They almost gave him another bump off the thing, and everyone say hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob. And Bob.
Big key in 14.
Bob has the big key. And Ninjembro has 2 keys going up to Ganon's tower, so he's going to be all set. Alright, Newbie, finally getting the Ether Medallion.
Or he sees the Ether Medallion.
Yeah.
And probably just bashes his face in at this point.
That's true.
How did I forget this? Wait a second. What is he doing?
What?
Oh, he has to finish Desert Palace. That's right.
Oh, that's right, yeah. So at least, unless I'm missing my guess here, that then if this continues on the way here and Ninjembro doesn't make any serious errors or have any bad luck, it looks like his margin of victory is going to be more than the 7 minutes.
Oh, absolutely, because 7 minutes, I would assume Newbie is still going to be in the Turtle Rock at that point, and I would be surprised if Newbie finishes off this run because of everything that happened to him. I would see probably a dot forfeit the minute he sees a dot done from Ninjembro. By the way, chest number 14 had the big key, so if you ended up picking the correct chest, we normally give you love and affection, but because this is Mother's Day, we're going to give you some flowers so you can wish your mother a happy Mother's Day. However, due to delivery restraints, you're not going to get those flowers until Mother's Day 2099.
Well, it's always good to be prepared, Rick. So, that's one you just don't have to worry about. So Newbie. So we've got Ninjembro at Landmala's in Ganon's Tower, while Newbie is at Landmala's in Desert Palace. Landmalaception.
And Ninjembro finishing off the Lamos. Didn't have as smooth of a fight as he did the first go around, but he's able to clear them up. Now head up the tower and face off against the Wizrobes. Newbie claiming the crystal out of the Desert Palace. So even if Newbie didn't have the routing snafu that he did earlier, the big thing is that he would still have to clear out the Desert Palace and finish that up. So even if he did grab it when he checked the Pyramid Ledge, he would have still probably been about 5 minutes behind because of the fact that he would still have to finish the Desert Palace. He's about to go into the Dark World, claim his Ether coin, and he will be heading up to Turtle Rock.
Then Ninjembro gonna have to pick up the magic decanter over here, but making a pretty good time through Ganon's Tower.
One thing one thing to watch out for is the amount of magic that these guys have, because they never found the half or quarter magic. That could have been pretty much anywhere at this point.
Right.
And Newbie picks up the Ether Medallion. Time to head up to Death Mountain.
And you know, as much as it would sting to lose in the tournament, I think if I were Newbie, I would be comforted by the fact that it seems like the time I lost with the controller issues didn't make a difference. So I would feel all right with this.
Ninjembro heading off to Dairy Queen. He didn't check the validation chest, or whatever you guys want to call that chest these days around. The bomb chest, the hookshot chest, or whatever you guys want to call it.
Hey. Kids, the memes, they just change every day.
We do have 1 on the first cycle here, and that's 2 on the second cycle of Aga 2.
And another double.
There's 1, 2, 2, and it looks like it's going to be 1, 2, 2, 1 here for Ninjembro. There we go. He's off to Ganon. Now, look at Ninjembro's time. He's going to get a really good time at this, too. Yeah. So, even if Newbie didn't have controller issues, let's just say this in serious here. This would still be a blistering fast time.
Oh, absolutely. Ninjembro's going to he's going to come in under 130. The question is, does he have enough time to come in under 125?
It was a 1, 2, 2, 1, I believe, or something of that nature. Anyways, Ninjembro here up against Ganon. 6 + 6 + 4. And Ganon goes down to the floor after 4 silver arrows. But hopefully you don't go down to the floor, because then you got to repeat this all over again.
Oof. That is the worst, when Ganon trolls you. I have had, in a couple races here lately, I've had Ganon troll me after 3 silver arrows knocking me into the abyss. Twice. It's the worst.
Mama Lord 666, I already answered that in chat that it's going to be 2099. If I can remember, or am alive for that. He gets Ganon. He looks like he's going conservatively with the single arrow per pop. And Ganon almost spawned right on top of him. Double arrow kill here for Ninjembro. He wins game 1, and Newbie's likely going to forfeit immediately here. And Ninjembro's time is going to be up in the early 124.
And we'll see as soon as he runs into the room with an official time: 1 hour, 24 minutes, 8 seconds. And even the game tells him GG.
That's an extremely fast time.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it was a completely free seed, but there was really good item distribution, and as we pointed out earlier, most of the progression items were on the normal paths.
And we welcome Ninjembro here to the conversation. 124.
Hey, yeah.
How about that?
That seed was certainly a thing.
Now, was that a PB for you?
I thought it was going to be, but according to the SRL channel, it was not.
Well, that's because the SRL channel is not using the normal goal. It's got the tournament here, so
that's
at
right.
this point, because it says tournament, it might still just be once it fixes itself. It definitely would be.
Yeah, that might be a PB. I've had sub 130s before, but I don't think I've had a 124.
Well, congratulations to you. That was not only for the PB, but also for your victory here. Just really great play all around. Good routing.
I do want to say one thing here, just to put your mind at ease at this moment. Newbie404 is right now in Turtle Rock, so he's well more than 7 minutes behind.
Okay.
Point, because that was going to be something that may have gone through the back of your mind, is how close was Newbie404 with the things that happened at the beginning of this race.
Right. Yeah, I saw he was having controller issues or something along those lines. Guess he got that sorted out after a little bit. Because he was saying in the race channel that he was having trouble.
Yeah, after the third restart, he finally got it to go, but the thing that he did was he forgot about the ether coin on the island, so he full cleared Ice Palace.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I actually, after I saw that Turtle Rock was ether, I was just like, I think that was ether on the island, but I'm not 100% sure. But I had to go check it just to be safe. And then I knew it was a hunt for the fire rod at that point, and fortunately it was on Pyramid and not in, like the end of Swamp Palace or something like that.
Oh god.
Yeah. Oh.
Or all the way back in the big chest in Thieves Town.
Yeah, that was. Now both of you went into Thieves Town without the hammer, so until y'all found the fire rod on Pyramid, I was concerned. I was like, there's that one chest that they left over in Steve's Town.
Yeah, I keep pretty good track of what I still need to get, so like that was still in the back of my mind. It's not something I'd completely forgotten about, but it was not on the priority list of places to check. In fact, I probably would have gone back there incredibly late. Like if that had been Fire Rod, it might have been one of the last places I checked.
We were talking about the possibility of finding the fire rod through Srashla because of Misery Mire being the green pendant, and we've seen that happen in our commentary before.
Ooh.
Turned out to be a broken heart that was on the pedestal this time around, so...
Okay, yeah, I was curious. I never bothered checking that.
Yeah, we never saw it on both of you. We just saw it on your end credits.
Yeah, no reason when... no reason to do it when no Skullwoods.
Until you found the bow, that was the only thing that was possibly in there that we were waiting to see, and Trinex goes down for Newbie, although on peeping strats.
Hey, as long as you got at least half a heart, you win. So
I wasn't keeping track of my health during the Cold Stare fight, and all of a sudden I was down to 1 heart, and I'm just, I should probably be a little bit more careful here.
Yeah, especially
we were holding our breath for you, Ninjembro.
Yeah, especially since he can bop you for a good 3 hearts.
Yeah. I don't think I realized how much damage he was capable of doing, because I'm so used to not really having to worry about that fight in any way.
And let's give Newbie some credit here. It does look like he's going to go and try to finish this off here, despite the issues early on, as he gets ready to go into Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, I mean, if he's just now heading into Ganon's Tower, I mean, he's still on pace for a decent time, even with the issues he had early on. I can't blame him for not forfeiting and just heading on to the next race. Plus, it gives me a little bit of time to cool off.
No, and as we were pointing out earlier, it was good sportsmanship on both of y'all's parts. With you asking, you're basically asking, "Hey, are you still having problems?" And Newbie, you being concerned and not just running away, saying, "Oh, I don't care that my opponent's having problems. I'm just going to play," right? And then Newbie saying, "You know what? Forget it. Let's just go. We already started the race."
If he continued to have problems, I wouldn't have minded a restart or something like that. But at the same time, I was trying to find like screen transitions to type during. Like I think when I said that, it was the coming out of the escape, and I had a little bit of time.
Yeah, that could
open the door. Let's see. I'm sure the chat is guessing my number of bonks.
Actually, they haven't yet, so guys, get your guesses in.
37.
I'm gonna go with well, the boots were early. I'm gonna say like 26.
And the first number in chat was 69. I wonder why we picked that number.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that high though.
I think it's going to be 231.
And of course, Ganon's Tower was good old Bob Chest.
Yep, just number 14.
Yeah, boots were really early. Oh wow, 19 monks.
Spoilers!
Oh, I'm sorry, I always forget that the screen's a little behind on the stream.
So, according to reports, the number of bonks was 19.
Possibly. We've heard rumors.
We know it was items before boots was 17. There's our confirmation right there, guys. So if you picked 19, you cheated.
Exactly. You're screen looking.
Wow, 254 item menu.
Sub 3, very nice.
It's a really good run for me. Now the second race, everything's gonna go wrong. That's how things work, right?
So what kind of strategies are you going to... What different kind of strategies are you going to employ for race number 2?
I mean, I think I'm going to mostly go with the same kind of stuff. I mean, it really depends on what items we find early. It's really weird transitioning back to this logic after doing so many races on 19 that it's just... I have to keep telling myself that when you get a good progression item to go check places that it unlocks, because more often than not you're going to have that bias in locations.
How about that early butter?
Yeah, early butter was neat. I was really happy to see that, and I mean, it doesn't really change a whole lot gameplay wise, it just makes things a little bit easier. I mean, obviously you need at least Master Sword to beat the game.
Yeah, but nobody wants to beat the game with Master Sword.
No, nobody at all. I think I've had to do Master Sword Ganon one time, and fortunately I did have silver arrows, so it wasn't that bad. I was happy to get the lamp early, so I didn't have to deal with dark rooms.
Yeah, we were talking about that. So how are your dark rooms, Ninjembro?
I mean, I've not very good. I've practiced them a little bit. I have on my second monitor, I have like little notes for myself that are just like kind of the inputs that I want to use to get through the different dark rooms that would give me trouble, like Mire, Turtle Rock, and the maze. I don't really have notes for the turtle room because it's just you walk into that room and you pray basically.
Right. Yeah, it's easier if you have the fire rod going into the turtle room. But are you talking about Turtle Rock or the turtle room and pod?
The turtle room and pod. I mean, honestly, if I don't have lamp or fire rod going into that, like, I might actually not even enter that dungeon if I don't have at least one of those two items.
Yeah, I won't. It's interesting you bring that up because in the weekly yesterday had about, 65 entrants. The lantern was actually on Lumberjack Cave. So Yeah, so anyone who could do dark rooms was automatically at an advantage.
Right. That's nuts. And I'm guessing dark rooms were required too.
Yes. Only
That's
one crystal in Light World. So.
Oh wow. I haven't seen a seed like that in a while. I've been getting lucky lately with all 3 Light Worlds being crystals. Now, next race, obviously, is going to be all 3 Light World dungeons are pendants, now that I've said that.
Of course. And hey, you can't even claim that to be commentator's curse.
No.
The newbie is at Landmala's 2 right now.
Yeah, we had an interesting moment here. The fact that he was doing Lamolas in the desert at the same time you're doing Lamo too.
It was faux sync.
The quasi high five.
Yeah.
Some friends of mine, a friend of mine is asking for specific file names for the next run, so you guys will have to wait and see. Although I will kind of throw this out there for anybody from Europe or that knows of it. File names will be directly related to the Eurovision Song Contest, which was yesterday. So anybody that follows that or watched that yesterday, keep a lookout for some Eurovision-inspired file names.
So we're doing our first 2 matches back to back, and have you guys decided on when, if Game 3 is necessary, when y'all will do it?
We have not. We're just taking it one step at a time.
Okay.
First, just time to see if Game 3 is actually going to be needed.
Yep.
So while
where's
we are...
he at now? Is he still in Ganon's Tower?
Yeah, he's in the mini Helmasaur room about to go to Boulder and 2.
Okay. I'm sure chat was very upset that I did not get the validation chest.
Well, we noted that you're on your way to Dairy Queen.
So while we wait for Newbie404 to finish up Ganon's Tower, let me go ahead and remind everybody that we do have Game 2 of this tournament game, or this tournament race, coming up immediately after this. We'll probably take a short break after Newbie404 finishes up.
Oh,
we'll
come
back
on.
with
Newbie
Game 2.
Get that Boulder was definitely doing his best to troll Newbie. I'm sorry to interrupt, but
No, you're good.
It was an ugly fight, and validation chest had Red Rupee.
I want to go ahead and remind everyone, too, that coming up, we still have more races today. Coming up at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time on Speed Gaming, we will have Kanzian versus Wild Anaconda 69. And then following that race at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, we will have DT versus Willard here on Speed Gaming.
That's going to be the commentators race there, where they constantly have joked about them doing their own commentary, but we know that ain't going to happen. But it's going to be a lot of fun watching those two go at it because they know each other, and it looks like a 1-2 setup here for Newbie so far.
Yeah, I didn't really like the pattern that Agate 2 decided to throw at me.
No.
And Newbie's off to Ganon.
Nice.
So yeah, there's some great races coming up this afternoon, 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock Eastern for the other 2 races. Also coming up here on Speed Gaming at 2:30 p.m. will be the Metroid Zero Mission 100% tournament. So
that's a very fun tournament to be watching. Metroid Zero Mission is just an all-around great game. And there's some very skilled players in that tournament.
Newbie's on the disgusting pig monster right now. Make himself some barbecue. Cape Strats. Shout out to the Cape Strats.
It's 10:45. This is bacon. He's having bacon right now.
True.
We gotta go breakfast theme.
I can have barbecue for breakfast, Rick. You can have barbecue anytime.
Stop, you guys are getting me hungry for lunch, and it's only 11:15.
This is not food gaming anymore. Speed gaming. This is food gaming now.
But yeah, we'll change the community to social eating.
Nice
And
double
Newbie
there
get-
for Newbie.
Yep. I think this is the last hit coming up right here.
No, one more.
One more
And-
time.
Oh, there we go. And this race is done.
Get the official time once Newbie walks into the Triforce room. Official speedrun live time of 1 hour, 40 minutes, 11 seconds.
So how about a GG for both of these runners? Ninjembro takes game 1.